Yeah, good evening everyone. So yesterday, right, we have seen like the Splunk overview and its components, right? So today we will discuss on like how to set up the lab. Okay. So before that, right, just to recap, right, we have discussed like Splunk has multiple components, right? So the components of Splunk are like one is the indexer, second is the search head, and third is deployment server. Fourth is universal forwarder. Fifth is the heavy forwarder. Okay, we have discussed about these components yesterday. Okay, now we'll try to set up an indexer in the Google Cloud. So today's exercise is like we have to set up our lab in the Google Cloud. So we'll be like during our course, right, we will be installing all these components in the Google Cloud. For now, what we'll do, right, we'll install one component called indexer in our cloud. So first we have to have a Gmail account and you have to add a credit card to it. Okay, so that you will get an you can create like Google Cloud account. Okay, if I want, once I have created that Google Cloud account, right, so how I have to log in, right? console.cloud.google.com. Okay, this is the Google Cloud. Okay, this is my Google Cloud. Okay, actually there will be something like here like projects. Okay, for you whenever you create a default thing, right, default AWS default cloud GCP account, you will be having something like this, my first project. Okay, so in cloud, how you will in Google Cloud, how you will have it. First you have to create a project. So what project contains, right, it will contain some set of instances, nothing but there some machines. Okay, it can be a Linux or a Windows machine. So in one project I can create multiple instances. Okay, so let us assume like if you want to practice, right, you can create one project called, like, you can have 2-3 setups at same time and you won't confuse if you create a separate project for everything. Okay, so how I will show, right, here, right, I am having one project called Splunk. Okay, this is my project called Splunk. In the left side there is one navigation menu. Okay, I have to click it and I have to come to this compute engine and I have to click on this VM instances. Just to remember, first I have to click on this navigation menu and I have to click on this compute engine. In this compute engine I have to click on the VM instances. If I click on this, right, I can have set up something like this. Okay, like this I can create multiple instances. Post I finish my job, right, I can turn off them. Okay, this would be your end goal. Like you will be having some, you can create some application, you can create one deployment server, heavy forwarder, indexer, search hit, and some application for Windows. Like that, at the end of the like in middle of the course, you will be having this infrastructure, and at the end you will have some more. Okay, for now, right, we'll create only indexer. So in GCP, how we have to do, right, first I have to click on create new project. Okay, so here I have to give some project name. I will give my project name as I am naming it as a DURGASOFT Jan 2021 batch. So the only criteria is there should not be any uppercase. And once you create this project ID, you can't change it. Okay, that is the one restriction in the Google Cloud. Now I have named it as DURGASOFT Jan 2021 batch, and I have created on the create. It will take some couple of minutes. Okay, it will take couple of minutes to create a project. Meanwhile, what we will do, right? We will wait for 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, my project has been created. I am into this project. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to create an instance. For that, as I said, I have to click on the navigation menu, and you will see something like compute. In compute component, you will have something like compute engine. In compute engine, you will have some VM instances. You have to click on the VM instance. So it will take like, so I have to enable billing. So how what like if I use no, I will be charged. So Google Cloud. Okay, just a second. My quota is reached, it seems. I'll remove one. Just a second, I will delete my instances. Looks like there is a quota. Okay, so what we will do, right? We'll create in my, this is the default project you will get over here. Okay, you will try to create here itself. Okay, so like I am having some 3-4 projects, right? So it is causing some license violation or something. So what we will do, right? We'll use the existing project itself. So for creating a instance, I have to come to navigation bar, compute engine, and VM instances. Then I will be getting this screen. So to create an instance, now I have to click on create. So then now I'm creating one Linux machine. Okay, now what I have to do is, this is my indexer. This is my indexer name. So I will be using this for indexer component. So there are multiple components in that. One is indexer. Next, what I will be doing now, I will be choosing the default region. I won't change anything, but here, right, this is the machine configuration. The machine configuration is something like I'm creating some instance for that which configuration I need. Okay, currently the default thing is like 2 vCPU and 4 GB RAM. Okay, but I will be selecting something like 2 vCPU and 2 GB RAM. That is enough. Okay, this is more than enough. Okay, and if I scroll down, right, now I have created one virtual machine. Now I'm creating one virtual machine with 2 GB RAM and 1 vCPU, and here, right, I have to choose the operating system. Currently, right, it is the Debian. Now what I will do, right, I will change it to some other operating system. So for that, right, I have to click on the change option over here. If I click on change, then it will list, if I select the operating system drop down, it will list me the operating systems on which I have to install something. Okay, so currently, right, I want to choose CentOS. There are other operating systems as well, like Windows, Ubuntu, Red Hat Server, okay, Fedora, deep learning, and container. So I will be choosing the first thing, that is the CentOS. Okay, by default it is picking the CentOS 7. That should be fine, and it has given some 20 GB hard disk. That is more than sufficient. Now I am clicking on select. So currently what I have done till now, I have created one name and I have chosen some configuration like some in terms of vCPU and RAM, and I have chosen the operating system as well, right? Operating system is CentOS and its version is 7. Now there are some other options over here, something like what is the access you need. So you no need to change these things, but here there is something like firewall. In this firewall you have to select this one and this one, then only it will enable the HTTP and HTTPS traffic, so that you will be able to access the UI component. So if I install Splunk now, I have to access the Splunk via some UI now. If I enable this, then only I will be able to access my Splunk instance. Okay, now I am clicking on create. Now my operating system is getting created. It will take some couple of minutes. So if you want to create one more instance, right, you can click on this create instance and create. Okay, and if you want to refresh, right, if you don't know like whether it is started or not, right, you can use this one, this refresh button. If you select this one, right, two options will be there. One is like you can stop the instance whatever you have created by using this one, stop. Okay, and you can suspend and you can delete. So mostly I will be using like stop or delete. Okay, I won't use this. Now my instance is started. Okay, now I got two IPs over here. This is the internal IP, this is the external IP. Okay, so in cloud, right, GCP, Google Cloud, you will be having two IPs. Okay, one is internal IP, sorry, one is internal IP. This is my instance. Here I am having some internal IP and one is external IP. Any cloud, right, any cloud instance will have two IPs, even it is like AWS or it is like GCP. So internal IP is used, let us assume like there is one more component, there is one more instance, okay, which is present in same network in the GCP. So it will use internal IP to communicate. Whereas if it is present outside, right, it will use the external IP. So for our labs, right, 99% we will be using the external IPs only. Okay, this is one thing. So this is the internal IP, this is the external IP. Now if I want to install this, now I have spinned a indexer which is a CentOS Linux. If I want to log into that machine, right, here I have to click on this SSH. If I click on this SSH, right, I will be getting automatically logging into that machine. I will be automatically logged into that machine. Okay. So I no need to enter any credentials. So the Google Cloud will take care of logging in. So my first job is done. Okay, now I am able to log in. Sudo -i. Okay, if I give -i now, I will get the root access. Previously, first I was getting dollar. I was getting dollar. Now hash means root. Okay, now my first prerequisite is met. Now I have installed some Linux instance. Now I have to install some indexer in it. Now I have to install my indexer. Okay, so in order to install indexer, right, what is the software which I have to use? I have to use the Splunk Enterprise Edition, right? So I have to type Splunk Enterprise Edition and I have to click on download. As I mentioned yesterday, like you have to create one account. Okay, first you have to you can't directly download this Splunk. For that, right, you have to you have to create one account. Post that, right, you have to log in and you have to download it. Likewise, you do it for Oracle. No, if you want to download Oracle Java, then you have to log in into that Oracle site. Like same here, you have to create an account and you have to log in. Just a second, I will log in. So here now, once I once I logged in now, I am getting like three versions. Like one is like Windows, Linux, and Mac. So if I select on Linux now, there are something like three packages that are available. One is like tar based, one is like RPM based, one is Debian package. So most of the companies will use this tar based installation. Okay, so what I will do, right, I will click on download. So normally how you will install, right, first, right, you will download the software locally and then you will upload into that instance, right? In the same way, what we have to do, right, first I have to click on download. If I click on download now, you will be getting some wget command over here. If you see in the left dot, download via command line. So there will be one wget command, okay, which will be here, which you can directly copy paste into the instance where you want to install. Okay, so I will be doing that installation via wget. I don't want to copy it locally and then push it to cloud. Okay, I don't want to do that. Directly by using this command, I can directly download. Anyhow, I have put my I have opened my instance over here. Okay, now I will update the packages. Yum update. So what I'm doing, right, I'm updating some packages in that Linux machine so that it will be like So whenever you install Windows now, whenever you turn on it for the first time, right, you will get some packages, right, like Windows updates or something like that. I want to make my system up to date. So for that, just let me scroll. So it is updating the package. Okay, what I have typed, right, I have given yum update. This is the command which I have given. This will update my packages. It will take some time. Let's wait for. I'm stopping the process. Yum update -y. Okay, I will reinstall one more time. Okay. Okay, looks like everything got installed. Okay, fine, no issue. Now what I have to do, right? I have to install one, as I mentioned earlier, right? Here I want to download this file. If I directly copy paste, we'll see what happens. So if I directly copy paste, right, you will get wget not found. So for that, right, what I have to do, right, I have to install one package called wget. Yum install wget. This will install this wget package. Okay, now I have to click on Y. It is just, it won't take much time. Now my package is installed. Now if I copy paste the wget command, whatever I got here, no, it will download that file. Before that, right, I have to install my Splunk in some directory called as cd/opt. This is the place where I will install my directory, sorry, it's my Splunk. So here only I will be doing my download. So I have navigated to this cd/opt and I have given this wget command which will download this Linux, this tar.zip file. Okay, once it downloads, right, it will download, we will get a file created with this name. Even though it is like 400 MB, right, the rate is faster, 500 MB per second it is downloading. Okay, if I type ls, then it will list. Now I have created an instance and I have downloaded my package. Now what I have to do, right, I have to do the installation. For that, right, first I have to unzip it. Okay, tar hyphen zxvf Splunk. So if I give tar hyphen zxvf and the package name, this will extract the folder. It will create a folder called Splunk. Okay, it will take 1 or 2 minutes to extract. Now it has, if I type ls, now a directory is created, correct? So cd slash splunk slash bin. So this is my present working directory. PWD means it is the present working directory. Here if I type ls, here I will be having all the setup files or the scripts which are related to this Splunk. So it will be present in cd opt splunk bin. So these are the scripts that are being used by the Splunk. Okay, now I want to start the Splunk. Now I want to install the Splunk, or I want to start the Splunk. Dot slash Splunk. I have to issue this command start hyphen accept. Okay, I will give this one. If I give Splunk start now, it will list all the like what to say, terms and conditions. See, it will give me all the terms and conditions. I have to click enter or tab or go to the end to install. So in order to avoid that, what we will do, right, Splunk start hyphen accept hyphen license. So what I am doing now, right, if I issue this command, I won't get that page what I got earlier, like read a term, like I have to accept the terms and conditions. Here I am accepting the license. Okay, and I'm clicking on enter. There is extra character there. Okay, I'm clicking enter. So directly I will be prompted with some username. Okay, this will be the username for logging into the Splunk. I will create it as admin, and I have to provide the password as well. And I have to confirm the password again. So now what will happen, right? Splunk will be accessible via this admin and the password whatever I have entered, and it will execute some scripts, and at the end, right, it will create some keys and all those. At the end it will give you some URL to log in. Okay, basically the Splunk will be accessible via 8000 port. Okay, now if I type my directly, if I issue this command, if I give this command, it should not work. It won't work normally. Okay, but I am getting because I'm having the firewall. Okay, for you guys you won't get. Okay, for that, right, in Google Cloud I have to do some modification. What I have done I will tell you now. Okay, for me it is getting automatically. For you, whenever you do it for the first time, you won't get, because I'm using the existing project. No, I was unable to create the new project and I was unable to use it. No, so for an existing project, I have already made that change. That's why I'm able to see this UI. Now here, if I go to my navigation menu, and here I have to go to something called networking. Previously we went for compute. Now we have to go to networking. In networking, I have to click on the firewalls. In VPC network, I have to click on the firewalls. Okay, I will delete and create again. Now you should not be able to access. Okay, you are able to access. That's great. Okay, I will tell the rule how to create it. Just a second. Actually, there is a duplicate. Yeah. Okay. How we have to add this firewall, right? Create a firewall rule. Okay. Now here I have to name it as Splunk. You should not turn on the logs. Hello is there, right? Here I have to select all instances in the network. Okay. And IP ranges. Here you can select as 0.0.0.0/0. Okay. And you have to give hello all. So this is the configuration which you have to give. Allow all instances in the net. Allow action on match is allow instances in the network is with IP address with this range, and click on this allow and create. If you have this firewall rule created, right, you will be able to launch this instance. So now we have created the instance. I will be providing the username which I have given, admin, and the password. Okay, now this is the UI, Splunk UI. Till now, any doubts?
No, Vikram, present.
No doubts.
Vikram, I think we could not able to hear you, Vikram.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay. So till now, right, what we have done, right? We did two changes. One is in compute we have added one instance. Okay, and you have downloaded the Splunk. Okay, and before that, right, the prerequisite is something like wget. So you have to install the wget command, and one more thing is the firewall. Okay, so these two are the prerequisites. Like we have to install the wget command and we have to map the firewall. So we have to create a firewall such that you can allow all the traffic. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, the data in a Splunk indexer. Okay, it is an indexer. So the data will be stored in indexes. Okay, so let us assume like I'm having some 3 or 4 projects, or I'm having 3 servers. Let us assume like, so I'm having some Linux. Okay, one is application, one is DB. So I can create 3 indexes. I can create an index for Linux logs, I can create an index for application logs, and I can create an index for the DB logs. So I can have something like three logs over here. Okay, sorry, 3 indexes over here. So index is like I'll put it as Linux. Okay, these are the user defined indexes. Okay, if I create this one, right, these are the user defined indexes, but by default Splunk will have some predefined indexes. Okay, so where we can see those is I have to click on settings, and if I go on indexes, no, here I will be able to see the default indexes or what we'll call as the predefined indexes, or default, or like this come with along with the Splunk installation. So there is something like audit, internal, metrics, okay, and history and main. So this main will be the default index. So if you don't specify any index name, we'll see like if I don't specify any index name and if you send the logs, right, then it will be stored in this main index. Okay, so these are the default indexes that are present in this Splunk. So if I want to see the logs for this internal, no, what I have to do, right? I have to go to click on this apps. There will be something like search and apps. This is a search app basically. Here, index is equal to underscore. Okay, then it will display the logs pertaining to that particular indexer. So this indexer, these are the indexers, default indexer logs. Okay, so here no, there is something like a, this is called a time picker. Okay, this is called as the time picker. If I will go through the UI once, okay, so this is called as the time picker. So with the time picker, right, what we can do, right, you can select the range. There are like multiple options. One is like relative. Okay, let us assume like I want to search for monitor only last 5 minutes logs. Okay, this is my requirement is something like I want to monitor, my production requirement is something like I have to monitor only last 5 minutes log. 6th minute log, whatever is passed, right, I don't want. Then I have to click on, I have to select this earliest 5 minutes and click on apply. Now you will be able to see only the last 5 minutes logs only every time. Whatever passes the 6th minute, 5th minute, right, that will be discarded and it won't show in the UI. So if you want to play with the data which is only last 5 minutes, you can use this. Okay, and there will be something like minutes, hours, days, weeks, and months. Okay, and if you take the relative time, right, this relative, okay, let us assume like you want to, there is something like date time range. Let us assume you want to monitor the logs from, now it is like 8:48, right? Okay, yeah, here I have to choose since. Here I have to, now it is 8:48, right? Let us assume like if I want to search the logs from 8:30. Okay, and I have to click on apply. So I will be able to see the logs starting from 8:30 to whatever the time it passes. Like if I at 9 o'clock, if I click on search now, I will be getting the data from like 8:30 to 9 o'clock. If I do it at 8 to 10, 8:30 to, sorry, now 8:30 to, if I click at 10 o'clock, then I will be able to fetch the data from 8:30. Normally, right, if you are doing some testing or something, no, or if you want to, like based on the need, there is something like before. So let us assume like you got some production incident at some 8:30 or something. So if you want to verify the logs before that, right, okay, then I can put it as 08:30. Okay, then it will show the logs before this time. And there is something like a between also, like if I want to fetch the logs between 2 time intervals, I can fetch using this one. Like I can provide my starting time and the ending time. Okay, now if I come to this left, this is regarding this time picker. Okay, there is something like as selected fields and interested fields. Okay, these are called as a metadata. So metadata in Splunk, there is something like a metadata. Metadata is something like the data that is generated from the source. Okay, source I will tell. Let us assume this is my application server. This is my application on which I have installed a universal forwarder. Okay, here there is something like indexer. Okay, now there are 3 metadatas. Metadata is something like it will give some information about the source now. So it will give something like what is the host. Okay, let us say it can be something like 192.168.2.20. Okay, for a different machine this will be different, right? For a different application it will be different, and there will be something like what is the type of log, source type. So if you see here, right, source type and source both are little confusing. I will tell you. Okay, what is the difference? So source type is the type of data. It can be a DB log or Tomcat log. Okay, or it can be something like a web server log. Okay, what is that log actually? And there is something like source here. If you see, there is something like source. Okay, source is source means what is that? What log? Actual log. I mean, I meant to set to be more specific, right? Either it can be like app.log or app1.log, something like that. So source specify what is the actual log file. What is the file? Source type is what is the type of data of this app.log. Okay, source type is the type of the data that can be like a CSV or a something else, or it can be a network, or it can be something like web server, DB server, Oracle, MySQL, something like that. So whenever the Splunk sends the data, universal forwarder sends the data, right? It will attach the 3 tags. One is host, so that it can be recognized. When I am getting data from multiple sources, I should be able to recognize what it is, right? That's why it will send, it will add for every event. No, this is one event. Event is unit, one snippet, or you can call it as a some log which is associated with some timestamp. Okay, so it will add for every log, it will add what is the host name, what is the source, means what is the log file, and what is the source type. Got it? So that even for every snippet I will be able to understand from where it has originated. Okay, and there will be something like interesting fields. There will be something like interested fields. Okay, just give me a second. Before that, right, I will log. This is the default index, right? Now what we will do, right, we will create an index and I can show you like how the Splunk parses the data. Okay, for that, right, Splunk has given some tutorial, or like it has provided some CSV logs. Okay, you can use that for practice.
Vikram, you are again mute, I think.
No, I was not speaking. Okay, so I was searching, I'm not speaking. So this is the tutorial data. Okay, I will paste the link from where you can download in the chat window. Okay, there will be something like tutorials data.zip. I'm putting in this chat window. I'm clicking on the download option. Just a second, I will copy these logs to my desktop. I will stop the screen share. So I have downloaded the logs and I have kept on my desktop. Now what I will do, right, I'm extracting this tutorial data. So what this tutorial data will contain, right, it will have some predefined logs. Okay, rather than I installing some application and doing that, right? So Splunk has provided, right, some logs which we can import. So there will be something like www1. In that there will be something like an access log. Okay, if I open this access log, it will be something like this. Okay, each log will have the IP and it will have the the timestamp and the method and the resource. Okay, if I will take a snippet of it so that I can explain better. So this is one snippet which I have copied just now. Okay, now what it will do, Splunk, how it will parse the data, right, based on the log type basically. So now let us assume like if there is anything called like a key value pair. Okay, something like course is equal to. Okay, if it finds anything something like this as a key value pair, no, in the logs, while parsing itself, what it will do is Splunk will create one field. Okay, it is something like a variable which has some values, right? In normally you will be having some variables and it has values, right? In the same way, Splunk will be having one field and it will be adding like the value of it. If you go here, if you go to my Splunk, here I am seeing the fields, no, it will add something like this. Okay, it will add something like this. So it will try to identify here, right? There is something like a JSession ID and there is some value. So it will pick that and it will create a field called JSession ID. Okay. Now it will search again, like whether it has something like any other field. For this snippet we don't have, but if you take Splunk the complete log, no, there will be some more fields like that. Okay. For this it has only traced the JSession ID. Here I'm unable to see any other things. So for that it will create a field and it will have a value for that. Now what I will do, right? I will create an index. Now till now we have seen this uh, default index, right? Now I will be creating one index and I will upload this file. Okay. Now for that, right, I have to click on settings and there will be one option called indexes. I have to click on this index. There will be one option called create a new index. Okay. I'm creating some index called like, okay, I'm creating an index called DURGASOFT, and these things we'll see like in future, like what is this. Okay. Currently I will click on save. For now, right, leave everything blank and I can create an index something like this. There is the index is created. Now what I will do, right, I have to add the data. Okay, I have to click on settings again and to click on add data. Now currently I am having a CSV file to upload. So for that, right, I have to click on this upload option and I will be getting one browse option over here from where I can browse the file, and it is in my desktop. I will choose the desktop file, just a second. So now I have extracted my files over here. So here, right, I'm clicking on this access.log. Okay, this is the access.log file and I'm browsing it. In real time you won't add like this. For practice purpose we will be doing there, you will be having universal forwarder which will be sending the logs. Okay, so we'll see that also in our future classes. Now I have uploaded my file and I have to click on the next. So when I mentioned something like source and source type, right? Source type is something like this. So you will be mentioning what type of data it is, whether it is a Catalina or whether it is a database. If it is a database, whether it is a DB2 log or it is like MySQL or MySQL error log. If it is an email, send mail syslog, or if it is a network, what type of network, right? Whether it is belongs to Cisco router or something, or if it is an operating system, right? It will check like what type of log file it is, where log messages or something like that. Okay, syslog. So and Windows log, you are able to see, right? Windows log, operating system Windows log, or syslog, or Linux secure log, or where log. So why it will ask this one? Why? Because now I am parsing the field. Okay, now I have parsed one field. I have created one field called like JSession ID. While Splunk is parsing the data based on the source type we select, it will one thing, right? Every log will have one standard. Like access log will have one standard, and web server Apache log, or it's a VAS log, it will have some standard, right? Like you will be having first this timestamp and you will be having a method. So this won't change. This even for log4j also, by default, this won't change. The values may change, but first you will have method, after that version, after that something like HTTP code, and after that some response time. And if you see this one, this is the method, get to post method. Now this won't change. So based on the source type, what Splunk will do, right, it will have an intelligence to detect these fields also. Okay, it will detect these fields. Okay, if something is present here, it is a method. Method is equal to post, it will add a value. If it is like 200, it will add some method called status is equal to 200, something like that. It will create the fields on the fly. That's why we will select this source type. Based on the source type, it will vary. Now it is with access combined. Now what I will do, right, I will change it to some other thing. Okay, I will change it to web or network, and you see the pattern here, it will change. I will take database. So you saw right here, the pattern got changed. Here in one event, I am getting multiple logs. This is one log, this is one log, this is one log, this is one log. Because as I have selected MySQL D, right, it is going to that standard and picking the logs. If I change it to something like email, this will change. The pattern will change, how it parses the log. So what I will do, right, I will go back and I will select the default option. Okay.
Vikram,
Yeah.
I have a query. Why do we change this source type?
No, I
Is
won't
that the
change.
request to, yeah, sorry.
No. I'm trying to tell you the essence of source type.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not changing. So based on the source type we select, the log will be passed.
True.
You saw right here. You saw
Yes,
now,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was just trying to show you, like if I change one, if I change it to SQL, right? SQL
Right.
log, what is happening in one timestamp? It is collecting multiple logs. Correct.
True. Yeah, yeah.
So that is happening. That's what I want to show you. Okay. Now it is, we have this access underscore combined. This is the default where you have this timestamp and the event. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the next. Here, right, I can give the host name. Here I'm getting the host as index. But what is my host name actually here? Or I will put something like, or I can put, okay. Host is something like index, or I will change it to default. I don't want to change it. Indexer -1. Okay, indexer -1. This is what that is present now. Okay, there is something like host name. Okay, this is indexer1. Why to change? Okay, now here I will add the same thing. And here, right, there are two index. So where I want to ship the logs. If I select index, right, it will go to the main index. 10 minutes back or 15 minutes, I have told you one thing. Here, there will be some index called as main index. If I don't specify anything in my indexer, there will be something like main. If I don't mention anything, no, the data will be sent to this main index. If I select as default, right, there is nothing called as default here. If you see, here I am having something like index is equal to default. Okay, but if I click next and if I add data, right, the same will be reflected in this main index. You won't see anything like default here. That's what I was mentioning during that time. Now, for now, right, I have created one index. I have created one index priorly like DURGASOFT, or I can click on this add create new index and I can do that. So I will be selecting this DURGASOFT and I am clicking on review and submit. Now my data is being collected. Okay, is uploaded. Now I will select on the search, start searching. Okay, if I go here, right, you leave about what happened here. You come here, as I told, did we get this JSession ID? And does it have the values here? It is having the values, right? It is a field that has created and it has values. So wherever you see a key value pair here, if you see anything with key value pair, action is there. Something like add to cart is there. So action is there. This is the field. In that, one option is add to cart. Like that, Splunk will parse the data automatically. And based on the source type we select, if you see this get is there, it is not a key value pair, correct? There is an option called get, but it is not a key value pair. But if I go here, there will be one thing called like method. See, totally there are like two methods. One is get and one is post. Like that, Splunk will parse the data and create the fields. If you see something like, you will have something like a 200 or 300 here, no? 200 is there. It is a response code, status code, no? This 200, 200, and there is something like 404. These are the status codes. There will, if you go here, no, but this is a not a key value pair. But Splunk knows based on the log, okay, here if something comes, it is a key value pair. Sorry, it is a like a status code. If I go here, right, there will be something called like status. You see status? It has parsed all the logs, and whatever the value that is present over here at this field, it has created a field called method, and it has put this values over there. So this is how Splunk, I mean like Splunk gets the data. So it parses the data. Clear? Now if I want to search these particular logs, like I mean index is equal to DURGASOFT. If I give something like index is equal to DURGASOFT, right, then the logs pertaining to this index or the file which I have uploaded will be displayed. So if I see, this is the host name which I have created, and this is the access.log, okay, and this is the source type which I have created. This is the metadata, and that is being added to every event, okay, that it has created. So there are some additional fields that are created which are key value pairs and all those. So for now, right, I think the remaining things, right, we can discuss tomorrow, or like we can see on Monday. Yeah, next class will be on Monday. Okay, so 1 second. Do you have any doubts?
Yeah, Vikram, I have missed yesterday's class. Hello, Vikram, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. So it is available in the YouTube. They have uploaded in the YouTube.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Have
okay.
it as a demo one.
Okay, fine, got it. And when is this regular class is gonna be start?
It will be starting on Monday.
Monday. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Vikram, one small doubt.
Yes.
While creating index, no need to give underscore before that.
No, no, that is for internal. In the internal index will have underscore. Okay. For us, right,
Okay.
you will be having some project name underscore application name, something like that.
Okay. Got it.
So project underscore something like you will have some application, you will call some ABC, right? You will have some application with some, no, they will have that name over there.
Okay. Sure.
So any other dots, like in projects, no, you will be having something like this, right? You'll be having some your your team will have some name, no? The project or some department will have a name, no? DEP underscore, or like you will have something like project underscore application name, something like that you will have. That depends upon the your index name which you propose.
Got it.
Okay, like ICIC underscore credit cards or something like that. Underscore CC credit cards. In that, if you have one component called as like mainframes, you'll have something like, okay, something like this, or credit cards underscore app server. That depends basically. Okay, like that you will have multiple options the way you create. So till now, is the class clear, or like am I fast or am I slow, or are you able to follow?
It's okay, Vikram, from my side.
It
Yeah,
is clear. It's clear. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like
But here
both
and
are
there,
from
there is some question, some confusion. So needs to go through that.
which one? Where is the confusion?
I mean, source type. That
That's
there
what
are
I was
some.
telling. Like we will discuss in the class. Yeah, no
Yeah.
issue. So that's what I told. No, I know like you will get confused. What is source? What is source type? No,
Source type.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, source type is the type of data. Source
No.
is the
Yeah.
actual. So
Mm.
in simple, if I want to say, right, now I am having some 100 applications. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
100 universal forwarders are there. If you want to know what is universal forwarder, just refer to
Mm-hmm.
yesterday's class.
True.
Now
Yeah.
you think in something like from 100 machines I'm getting data.
Okay.
So I have to know three things. What is the type of data, from where it is coming, and what is the log name? Correct or not? This is your
True.
expectation, no?
True. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So from where, like there may be a cluster, like one application may
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
some 20, 30 nodes. Okay.
Yeah.
Google may have some thousands of nodes. If I get any error,
Mm.
what is the host name which got affected? That is the host.
Mm. Okay.
What
Mm-hmm.
is the source means what is the log name? From my one instance, I can send 10 logs.
True. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what is the log? Okay. And
Okay. Okay.
type is something like what type of data? What is the type? Whether it is a network thing or it is a Tomcat log or something like that. So there,
Well.
let us assume like why you want this source type. Now let us assume like
Yeah.
there are some 50 machines for application and 10 machines for DB. So I
Okay.
want to categorize only, I want to search only on my DB logs.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Now I will filter with search type as DB server.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's a
clear
group.
now.
Yeah.
Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, but one more thing what I want to share, like in the expectation, no, they have kept some 30, 45 days or something like that.
Okay.
But in my class, right, it won't take 30 days also. Why I'm saying
Okay.
like I won't talk all like what to say, I won't blabber all the nonsense things. I will be like point to point. I don't want to waste time.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this
So
be useful for certification as well? I
yes,
think
yes,
we have
you can go it.
Splunk administration and then power some certification.
Power user will be there. You can go with
Power user.
power
Yeah.
user. Okay, like that
Okay.
depends upon the what to say, the stream. So whether if you are into some development stream, right, power
Okay.
user is fine. If you are into some testing, okay,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
if you are into something like operations team, right, they will
Okay.
use this power user. If your role
Okay.
is
Mm-hmm.
in the Splunk admin, like let us assume
Right.
like you are
Yeah.
into some
Yeah.
already into some Linux admin. Okay, sorry, you
Right.
are a Linux
Yeah.
admin already. You want
Right.
to shift your career to
Mm-hmm.
Splunk, then
Okay.
this Splunk administration certification will boost your opportunities.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Got
depends
it.
upon the where you are. So if I'm a developer, okay, I don't know
Yeah.
what is Linux, I don't know what is network. If I go
True.
and do my Splunk administration, no,
Yeah.
that as a fresher that makes sense, but if you're after like 5-6 years or 10 years, right, then
Right.
that will be like something like complete flip.
Okay. Okay.
That depends. Like if you are into admin, right, you can go and do it.
Okay. Got it.
And this
And it's
class give you like if you attend this class, right, you will get 70 to 80% of knowledge. Okay, that will be theoretical. Lab, there won't be any lab. This will be something like a multiple choice questions. So they will
okay.
twist. The questions may vary. Some things,
Mhm.
sometimes they will ask, when I wrote, right, they asked some question like,
Mhm.
what options you will have here? This is silly.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So sometimes they will ask tricky. So you
Mhm.
can't expect, you can't ignore something like, what is this? What you will have this unselected fields and all. The
Yeah.
question may
Yeah.
come from anything.
True. Yeah.
Okay, some will be very silly. No, I
Mhm.
never expected it. They will ask a question on these things.
Okay.
Okay, so they give multiple choice like A, B, C, and they give two options, something like error mode or something. Okay, something like that they
Okay.
give.
Okay. What is the percentage that we need to get out of what? How many questions
But
that they?
some 60 or something. But one thing, right? I prefer, right? If you want to,
Mhm.
okay, it is not recording now. Yeah. So I feel like certification, right? Instead of spending money on certification,
Okay.
learn some good course. This is my
Okay.
personal opinion. Like if you
Okay.
are like let us assume like uh, if you spend some 15K on one certification, you'll
Right.
put it
Yeah.
in resume. By the time you get job, no,
Right.
it will be
Yeah.
like 1 year more. Okay, and it will be validity will be 1 year. And when you
Okay.
face an interview, right, you won't do anything. Just is the confidence you put on your resume, right? Directly
Yes.
put that.
Yeah.
Directly
Okay.
we put like, I'm a Splunk certified or like you are a some certified, because once you join, no, the practical thing is no one will ask you the certificate. They will check
Okay.
your background certificates, but they won't check.
True.
So there is some trick here. So no, this is some logic where
Okay.
people misses. If it is
Mhm.
like really necessary, if you are working in some job and if you
Yeah.
want to grow, there is an
Yeah.
opportunity means you can write. But
Okay.
if you are want to shift and all those, later
Mhm.
better learn one technology.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Instead of
I
that,
give my
you are
opinion.
suggesting to learn the other technology instead of
Yeah,
going for certification.
I'm a AWS, I'm a Oracle Cloud certified. Okay, but
Okay.
it
Okay.
is of no and Splunk, but it is of, I'm a RHCA also, but it is of what I can do with that.
Yeah. True. Accepted. Mhm.
Yeah, that
Got
is
it.
my personal opinion, because that varies based on the scenario. I was also mad behind certification in my initial career. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
based on experience, I thought like I'm wasting my money.
Okay.
At the end, right, I have to rejoin.
Nobody
I did
asked.
nobody
Yeah.
asked. The thing is like I did my Linux certification 5.4 Red Hat. After that,
Okay.
6 and everything came and everything got
Yeah.
over. Now
Versions
I
will get
can't do
changed.
it on.
Yeah.
No, the lab will be same, but the thing is like I have to spend one more 30,000 or 20,000
Oh,
to pass that
yeah.
RHC, which is of no use for me now.
Okay. Mhm.
No
So
one
it
will
will
ask
cost around 13,000 for
13,000.
each certification.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. That's fine.
Okay.
Fine, Vikram.
Any
Yeah.
doubts? Any doubts, Ravi?
No doubts. It's clear for me.
No, no, Ravi. He
Yeah.
was
No,
just.
no doubts.
So, like, what are your roles basically?
Uh, I am from testing background, Vikram, actually.
Okay.
Me too
You?
as well. I'm from
Uh,
testing background.
okay.
So yeah, got selected for Splunk admin.
How many days you are? How many years you are having in Splunk?
No, I
Sorry, I
don't
mean,
have an exposure into Splunk, but I have selected as a, junior Splunk administrator.
you are a fresher or like
No, I have an
experienced?
exposure into testing.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
have
means
around 7 years
no.
of
How many?
experience
Oh,
into
you got into
testing,
seven.
and for
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Fine.
Splunking
Fine.
new. Splunk new. I'm just new to this.
Okay.
But
Okay. Fine.
anyhow, I managed to select for that like looking into
You learned
the
some Splunk. You learned Splunk in prior, or like it's an ad hoc basis they selected you.
they have no not like they have conducted an interview, so like
Super,
I have gone through some of the interview questions and then I have given
super.
an
No issues.
interview.
Like I am also from testing. Okay, so I
Yeah.
worked in product-based companies. So
Okay.
there, right? There is no something like what to say. Right? There is no admin and all those. I used to play
True.
like
Yeah.
in
But at
product-based
the end of the day, we
companies.
needs to like manipulate that. That's
Man,
this what
no.
we work. That's
I
so
worked on elk stack also. Okay, being a tester, right? I know how to set up a elk, like
yeah.
Splunk competitor is elk stack. I know how to configure like elk stack. There will be
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
El
log stacks.
Kusumo logic. Yeah.
Yeah, Sumo Logic, I don't know. We configure the elk stack for
Elk.
our
Okay.
performance testing needs. So that
Okay.
depends upon the company.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what. I'm just now worrying. Anyways, that they have given
Splunk
like
is like easy only.
Azure.
Like to tell frankly, right? Admin is easy. What I feel, right? Admin is easy than development.
Okay, okay.
What I feel is like my personal experience is like
Okay.
what is there in this admin, like you will have some predefined configuration. If you remember that, that is fine. You should know like what you need to do
Right, yeah.
and what part you need to mention, where it should go. Only three things are there, but it will have something extra. In real time you will have so many things, but that depends. For us, right, it's a product based company. We are using Splunk since 4 years. Okay,
Okay.
not an issue. And I have been teaching Splunk since long time. Okay,
Okay.
it's almost 1 year, so I know
Okay.
most, like yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's is it different? I mean, like admin and development is entirely different, or is there? I mean, like they usually create something and then configure.
You go
Is
to
that so?
extra like Ravi, right? Yesterday you have listened, right? Can you tell what is the difference between admin and development?
Okay, you can. He has got on.
No, Ravi has attended yesterday's class.
Uh, this it is an admin part, and developer means this infrastructure setup and all will be an admin part, and this preparing dashboards and this alerts, creating alerts. That depends upon this developer role.
So you will have something like multiple indexers, you will have multiple search heads, you will have
True.
like deployment servers 1 or 2 and universal forwards in thousands based on the infrastructure, and you will have some 10 or 20 universal forwarders. In order to maintain this, you need an admin.
Your voice
Okay.
is breaking, Vikram. Can't able to hear you.
Okay. So now is it clear?
It's clear, but it's breaking
Ah,
in between. Yeah.
okay. So like you won't have one component like indexer. I'm having some 10 or 20 or 30 you will have. Search heads will be like 10. Deployment servers will be 2 or 3. Okay. Universal forwarders will be like some thousands, 5,000, 10,000, something like that.
Okay.
Okay. We are having some like in our environment, we are having some around like 2,000 applications.
Okay. Okay.
So universal forwarder will be 5. Search heads we are having 4.
Okay.
4 or 5 we are having. That's it. So
Okay.
in order to manage and put them in sync, right, we need admin. Once the data
Okay.
is in the indexer, for transferring the data, you need admin. Once the data is present here now,
Right.
using
Yeah.
this data, developer will create some extract some information which is needed.
Okay.
Okay, like they will prepare charts. Now I showed you, right, something like fields and IPs and actions. So
Yes.
using
Yes.
these fields, right, they will create some data over there. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Okay.
So like from Monday, I think tomorrow, Sunday we'll have some workshop. Okay, I will see
Okay.
like now only 2 people are there, right? So we will see like one more 2 people. This is the first batch in DURGASOFT. Okay,
Oh, is it okay? Fine.
this is the first batch in DURGASOFT. So there is no marketing done, or like there is no one is aware. Even though I taught in some other institute, but
Okay.
this in DURGASOFT, this is my first batch. So
Okay.
because in other institutes, I think you know, right? No one is teaching this Splunk in Naresh or whatever the institutes in Amirpet.
I don't have any idea
Yes.
about it.
Correct, no, Ravi?
Yes, nobody is teaching actually.
Yeah, so
And,
that's why I will be teaching mostly like some US people only. It will be like one-to-one. They
Okay.
will be,
Is it?
yeah, it will be like one-to-one. So I
Okay.
thought like maybe I thought of starting here. I
Okay.
thought of just for fun.
Okay.
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 I got it.
So not known when are the regular classes gonna be start then?
Monday it will be like you can make
Monday.
the payments. Okay. Monday I will be
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
the classes, regular start classes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Vikram.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.